Stop right there. Ah, here comes the unexpected wrinkle in my master's plan. I know who you are, lost daughter of Hades. And I know that you know who I am. I had a premonition of this very moment.
Lord Prometheus, I presume. You must have premonitions all the time. I'd not heard you were liberated, or that Kronos is the master you serve. Solidarity between titans, then?
Call it a change of heart. I was a coward and a fool, you see, to have sided once with gods against my kind, but no more. This is my attempt at atonement.
What, by leading this reckless assault? I never took you for a coward, but you remain a fool.
Perhaps all right, but I shall be a victorious fool at least. For I have seen you stand no chance at all. Conflagration.
How?
There was no dignity in this at all. I knew it. I know you think that you can get past me if you but continue to try and to try and to try. The truth is you shall. Perhaps not this night, but inevitably nonetheless.
At least you saved me some suspense. If I knew every outcome, as does the infamous Titan of Foresight, perhaps I too would become a disaffected, traitorous wretch.
What would you know of my plight? You who flail against time itself. So much courage born of pride. Come then, agent of change, and show me what I know you can do. Toast blow. Suffer as I did.
Waves of flame.
Flame of Olympus. Illumined it once again. I do not fight alone. only do my part.
Silence. Save your troubles for your master Kronos.
It's not my troubles that I mean to save, Agent of Change. You God, I hate you all.
He's gone. Prometheus.
How quickly you arrived this night. Bending the very laws of nature to achieve your goal. Forging alliances with beings who care nothing for you.
I did take a shortcut, but you're wrong about the rest. I know the being to whom you refer, and they're not what you presume them to be.
No. But isn't it chaos that delivers you so close to your goal, it shall let you go no farther? Even if you should prevail here. I know where this all leads. Let's see it through. I am beaten. But you cannot afford to give chase, and my strength shall return. I shall never submit to you. Agent of Change. I'm but a Titan and unarmed. Should you get past me, however, I know that you know you're certainly no match for what awaits.
Perhaps you simply know less than you think. And now you're going to call me arrogant or something, I suppose.
I would have, yes. But since you've foreseen that outcome, it shall not come to pass. Well, if you truly think you can withstand that monstrosity, let's see you withstand me. My strength has failed me repeatedly, but it always comes back. Far worse waits above.
Titan?
Do you hear that? Typhon climbs the dark side of the mountain even now. Impressive that you cast him down before, but he shall not rest till the palace of Zeus lies in ruin.
He'll be destroyed. You along with him if that's what it takes. If he were truly unstoppable, you wouldn't be impeding my ascent. You're buying him time.
I am. It's strange to think that time can be a limited commodity even for deathless such as we. But no more stalling for now. You gods never forgive. Why then should I? When I could fight instead. In the blink of an eye. I thought you might show up. It may have taken all your godly relatives, but they were able to resist the monster Typhon's wrath, despite the blunders that you made. Yet now you hurry back.
I realize this must be complicated for you, as someone whose loyalties are mostly to an eagle, but I am not about to let that thing destroy everything my family built.
You ought to choose your loyalties with greater care, not let them be decided by birthright. Well then, come on. You have a summit and a family to protect. I have foreseen defeats of mine before. Every last one of them, in point of fact. The strength of Hades. Last. Here's our prey. You know what lies beyond and still returned. I knew you would, of course, yet I don't know why. Because you won't tell me.
That's right. Your nonsense riddles are a bigger threat to my health than you, or your blasted eagle pet for that matter.
The threat you face is beyond your understanding. That is the only reason you persevere. Your ignorance is a gift, much like the fire that I shared with mortal kind, and now with you. I foresaw your trickery, yet still could not prevent it, no matter what I tried. My wounds shall heal again.
Tell me, Titan, do you recall a mortal woman by the name of Dora? Her shade responded strangely when I mentioned you, but can't seem to remember what you did.
Let's leave it be, Agent of Change. That old shade's latent memories have more to do with gods and their deceptions than with anything I did.
Elaborate. Tell me what happened to her. You keep blaming everything on the gods, as though all this is solely their responsibility.
Oh, on the contrary. I take responsibility for mortal kind. But for all their failings, vices, and downfalls, I am not to blame. Nor is this Dora. You tell her I said that. monster Typhon isn't liable to stop, you know. He has your family on the back foot, cowering in your Lord Uncle's palace. Exactly where we want them.
A suitable distraction I can take advantage of. Just as soon as you're out of the way, along with your bird.
You're telling me your plans. Now we're truly getting to know each other. I almost regret what's about to transpire. If you could see what I've foreseen, you'd not believe it anyhow. You cannot break me. That I know. I knew it.
Perhaps your so-called Master Kronos wants for you to fail. To suffer more than you already have. He seeks vengeance on the gods for overthrowing him before, when you were their ally.
I don't seek my master's forgiveness nor assume his loyalty. Alliances are born of shared goals, perhaps ideals. Whereas the gods and I are at cross purposes.
Because they punished you for crimes you knowingly committed? What else could they have done after you deceived them and took from them?
I took nothing. Fire spreads, burns anything that stands in its path. The gods sought to imprison it, but I set it loose. Now at last, we each are free, and burning still. You have defeated me again. But all my wounds shall heal. They always do. Such wrath. Hold on to it. It's you. Resist all you like, yet the age of gods shall end. Time shall see to it. And thereafter a golden age of enlightenment shall begin, in which you gods hold far less sway.
If I somehow gave you the impression that I'm interested in your doomsaying and false prophecies, I assure you I'm not.
Your disregard is the very reason you're no longer fit to rule. I know you'll never relinquish this mountain. Fall with it, then. Compared to what I have withstood before, this was nothing at all. I knew this would happen. My master's plan, of course, requires time. The objective here is not to stop you permanently, but to slow you down.
Unless you just can't help revealing vital information to your enemies, I'm going to assume you're spouting this drivel to mislead me. Either way, my own objective remains the same.
Yes, bullheadedness is one of your family's defining traits. Then let us execute our respective plans. There is a possibility that mine shall succeed here beyond measure. Do you hear that? Typhon climbs the dark side of the mountain even now. Impressive that you cast him down before, but he shall not rest till the palace of Zeus lies in ruin.
He'll be destroyed, you along with him if that's what it takes. If he were truly unstoppable, you wouldn't be impeding my ascent. You're buying him time.
I am. It's strange to think that time can be a limited commodity even for deathless such as we. But no more stalling for now. Not at your fill. My master does not realize what will become of him once all is said and done. Do you? How abhorrent to try and steal away one's immortality.
I've truly heard it all. A thief lecturing me about stealing. Kronos took my family and more. He should realize what shall become of him.
Your father's father. You share some of his ancient lineage and his obsession with the inevitable. Come get what you desire then, but one outcome awaits as you continue down this path. The flames that you withstood, perhaps they were never meant for you. This was to be my future. Gods. Well, Agent of Change. The monster Typhon is eliminated and my master certainly is not himself. Or rather, now he is. Many have said they knew you could do it, but only I truly did. Yet you know as well as I that we're not finished.
Kronos has surrendered, but here you still are, giving his remnant legions their orders. Decided to take matters into your own thieving hands, then?
That I decided long ago, when I gave myself to your Lord Uncle's chains. And I still oppose you, yes. For what you seek beyond, you shall find only through the flames of battle. I knew I could not stop you. On the contrary, you needed to prevail. I've suffered
war is over, Titan. Drop the act. You still refer to Kronos as your master, and seem no less charitable towards the gods, despite now doing this for their sake, not just yours.
You know as well as I that the conditions of your climb need to approximate your prior path if you are going to succeed. And I admit that the result I seek would otherwise not be possible. Thus, here we find ourselves.
The result you seek involves me repeatedly beating you up. Perhaps all you really do want is a proper thrashing, under the guise of acting like some sort of savior.
I have extraordinarily high tolerance for pain, though for such mockery less so. Remember, we can both administer a thrashing here. Kaitos and I have done what needed to be done. Now you go do the same. You know. Lines ahead. Don't move.
The gods are grudgingly permitting this behavior of yours, Titan. The vandalizing of their mountain, the perpetual assaults on their defenses, fighting me.
My master, or perhaps my former master, as I now should say, wishes to undo certain perceived wrongs, as you are well aware. I merely have a part to play in this.
And you're prepared to fight eternally against me, then? For my grandfather to be absolved of the mistakes of his past, and for the future of the gods to be secured?
I am prepared to fight eternally for what I believe in, and so that time flows freely forth, if that is what it takes. I knew that this would be a struggle, but hold always to the chance I may be wrong. Go give. What's that? Hell. What do you know? Your companion, Dora. She does not remember me, not yet. But she shall. And in so doing, remember why she chose to forget me to begin with. And forget so much more.
You say she's not to blame for the failings of mortal kind, as though she could have carried such a burden to begin with. What happened? How do you know her?
That one is haunted by her past, as you can see. But it is not my place to tell you any more than I already have, lest she recall too much too quickly. All in due time, as my master would say. If suffering today brings about a better tomorrow, so be it. You gods have much to learn. Ah, yes.
You do know Dora, don't you? She and some brother of yours, they were wed. And somehow this resulted in her letting loose all sorts of demons in the mortal world.
That is one telling of it, more or less. So she remembers, finally. Perhaps with great regret. After all this time, mortals still cannot decide whether to blame themselves or gods for their plight.
Oh, they should blame only gods. Take no responsibility for their own wretched state. Not even Dora would do that, and she's one of the most complacent beings I know. In an impressive way.
Your companion Dora remembers some of the events, but this does not mean she understands any of them. Her actions pitted mortal kind against itself forever. I've done my part here, just as you did yours. For this was bound to happen as it did. This shall pass.
It's her.
What did I tell you?
Heracles, what are you doing, fraternizing with him? You're supposed to be defending this mountain like before.
Fraternizing? Well, you were right again, Prometheus. So then what now? She finally caught us in the act.
We fight is what, big man. Slow her at least. She shall not tell a soul that you are here. Her family is in no position to absorb the truth of it. At least not now, or soon.
I don't know, this sounds a little treasonous. Yet you expect me not to notify Lord Zeus and the others. Heracles, he's your father. Of all the gods, you'd even turn on him?
Don't we all? Besides, the Titan of Foresight here knew I would, and who am I to argue? Now allow me in my club to ensure you'll forget what you have seen.
Just watch out. stop it now. Even with Heracles, A brief word.
No sign of your big friend? It seems you'll have to contend with me on your own, since I'm ignoring your bird.
My big friend, as you call him, answers to a higher power. And I know that you know what it is. You wish to face the two of us again. You know precisely how.
And why would I possibly wish to go through that again? You're enough on your own without also having to evade a club twice my size.
You're eager to please. To do that which you're called upon to do. That's why you're here. And that's why Heracles shall be here again not very long from now. Curse these old wounds of mine. I once was stronger than this. I could not.
The witch.
You, Heracles. When we meet elsewhere, it's as though nothing's changed, and still you face me here. I knew you for a great warrior, but you're just a great actor.
We're all actors throughout our wretched lives, sister. And don't you dare address me here again. This is the Flame Thief's fight. I'm merely the supporting actor here.
And is this not a fitting stage on which we're to perform before the gods, including whichever dark gods you yourself invoked, forcing obedient Heracles to answer their call? Let's give them what they desire.
All right.
Enough of this. My foreknowledge of this moment. It's as though we've done this all before. I should have expected this. You've come specifically for me tonight, haven't you? Some barbarous assignment, perhaps, from dark gods far older and greater. Well, here I am.
And how could you possibly know? I've said nothing of the sort, Titan. Nor shall I.
Not this evening, one, but later. It shall slip your mind that we had this discussion earlier. You shall tell me more. For now, come fight me for the glory of your kind. My premonition.
What became of Dora's husband? Your brother, by her recollection. He abandoned her after what happened?
It's more correct to say that your companion Dora finally saw my scatter-minded brother for who he was. Their marriage lasted for about as long as many do.
All while you stood idly by and did nothing, but now feel bad and thus decided to shoulder this righteous cause? Perhaps to feel a bit of absolution that you never got from her.
Your words are harsh, but for the most part accurate. Dora remembers now what your own family did to her. If she can forgive you all for that, then she's a stronger soul than I. How was the climb? I know your capability and can anticipate your every move, but there are times my mind leads me astray, you see. Anticipating possibilities that do not come to pass, resulting in all too many mistakes.
Mistakes such as revealing this to me, or being here at all. Have you learned nothing from your past imprisonment?
To be imprisoned is to be denied the opportunity to learn. A cruel form of torture in itself, but I did learn something, yes. I cannot break. My master indicates that your accomplishments are mounting night by night. He awaits beyond, should you prevail again.
First you, then Typhon. Same as ever. Though I'm delighted to know I'm living up to Grandfather's expectations. Could always use more family members to appease.
I do not envy you in that. Nevertheless, so long as our paths are intertwined, I shall be here. No need to let me know ahead of time. You gods coerced all mortal kind into worshipping you, and for what? You've nothing to gain by slaughtering them at your whim. Leave them be.
I'll be sure to put in the request with my Lord Uncle Zeus. If you could go ahead and let me past so I can pay him a visit.
Your Lord Uncle had me bound to a mountain for eons, so that Aitos here could feast upon my flesh for all that time. Aitos came round eventually, but Zeus, he never shall.
Why do you care so much for mortals anyhow? Their lives are short, their flesh is weak. Only in death do many of them finally begin to gain some sense.
Any laborer of skill cares for their work. Mortals, poor sods created in the image of the gods, yet forced to be inferior, so that they could never achieve what my master and I now intend.
You mean to say that you fashioned mortal kind, then stole the fire from this mountain for their sake? Absurd.
The truth can be difficult to absorb. Mortals live only to suffer. As I am responsible for that, I sought to take some of their suffering from them. and redistribute it to all of you. Gods could learn something from mortals, you know. For all their many failings, they have an admirable tendency to cling to hope. A certain quality we deathless often lack.
Hope can be the salve for the naive. So many mortals hope they'll never die. A feeling born of delusion and fear.
Yes, mortals live short, painful lives. And even still they strive for something greater than they mostly can achieve. I fight for them. You gods fight only for yourselves. You who condemn me as a criminal. Would you know why I liberated fire from this mountain for the sake of mortal kind?
My own increasingly strong sense of foresight indicates you're going to tell me no matter what.
When I gave mortals nourishment, the meat they would have sacrificed to you, they needed fire then, and more. But you hoarded all of it. So I saved them, and I'll do it again. The future is a series of fixed points. Not even my master believes this to be true, but I have seen the many possibilities. The only question is, which is our destination?
You fill my mind with this nonsense. Not even the three fates know entirely what the future holds, for they are always weaving.
They were always weaving, yes. I know that you know that they weave no longer now. Yet moment by moment the future still unfolds. Let us give shape to it ourselves. Where do you suppose they are, Agent of Change? The Fates, I mean. They who set the Titans and the gods against each other to begin with long ago.
Wherever they are, pray they can't hear you speaking ill of them. Though why ask me? You're the one who knows everything, including whether they'll ever be located or not.
That I do. I would spur you to consider the possibility and your place in their scheme, and I suppose, in mine.
Guess who?
It's done. It's finally done, except I need to hear you say it first, to know for certain what I have foreseen. Now, please.
You may have to be a little more specific, but I take it you mean that I found the Fates. Or they found me, but either way. I thought you didn't care for them too much.
I care for what they say, what they decide to make of this world of ours. What has their exile driven them to do? They would not make the same mistakes again.
They've had it with our squabbling, that I can understand. So they have deemed the coming of another age in which the gods apparently shall hold less sway. The time of fewer burdens on us, so our tempers can subside.
The coming of a golden age. Perhaps not quite the one my master had envisioned, but nevertheless, all this toil at long last. Until then, I suppose we fight. For the age of mortal kind. Now do you begin to understand what I have done at every turn? This was to be my future.
So you truly saw all this coming? The three fates and their prophecy of a new age? Why have you fought so hard to stop me then? What if you had prevailed?
I knew my efforts to prevent you all would be for naught, but I was compelled to make those efforts anyhow. To put it simply, I could see no other way.
We might have fought on the same side. Surely that would have sooner led to your result than sending Itos after me.
A reasonable theory, but it never would have gone the way you expect. This was never about mortal kind for you.
You're right, it wasn't. I had my own problems to contend with before attempting to rid mortal kind of theirs.
Yet now you have done both. Fear not. The dead may worship you, but the living couldn't care less. Though still we did what needed to be done.
What of your companion Heracles? I suppose he's been in on your scheme this entire time as well, appearing to defy the gods while serving them anyway.
You'll have no more success getting such answers out of me than out of him. You've seen the man. He has his reasons.
Hence your affiliation. You must have bonded over your disdain for this mountain and all it stands for. Was he the one who liberated you?
No answers out of me, I said. Not when it comes to him. But at least you now know there are offshoots of your family made of stronger stuff. Look at us, Agent of Change. The demons your companion Dora inadvertently set free, every ill that could befall mortal kind. Most all of them yet plague the gods as well.
Existence has its hardships. I'm very familiar with many of these demons, and they are nuisances. But their power has its limits, and they can be driven back.
Perhaps. But mortals tend to have a harder time of it than you, don't you see? So long as they suffer, so shall we all. When my master lets you cross a boundary beyond this realm to face the monster Typhon as before, the outcome of that I cannot foresee. How did the last one go?
Perhaps I'll leave it to your imagination. It must be novel for you not to know the outcome of such incidents.
Oh, that it is. Well, then don't tell me if you like. I'm far more interested in the end result than in the many steps we shall be taking on the way. Nighthose has excellent vision, of course. Saw you since you first set foot at the base of the mountain. Slowed you down, perhaps, but still. I knew you'd be here now.
Truly. And what shall be the outcome of our confrontation this time, since you know everything? Same as the last?
If you knew, the outcome would invariably be rather different than the one that's imminent. Though I suppose I can at least give you a hint. You have a brother you never even knew. I had a prideful one, a scatter-minded one, and a pathetic one bearing the weight of the world on his shoulders. Which do you suppose yours is most like?
No wonder you hate my family. You hate yours. Shall we proceed to try and kill each other now? I don't have all night.
My brothers and I used to quarrel frequently. I thought I had outgrown it, become more civilized. But clearly no.
Seeing as you know all about the coming age, any interesting details you can share about what's in store?
The world shall be a very different place, in ways you cannot possibly conceive. In other ways, nothing shall change at all, even regress. We shall all be forgotten and remembered, and forgotten. Again, and again, and again.
Why bother talking to me all these nights, Titan? If you know everything I'm going to say. How tedious your life must be.
It used to be much worse. But to your point, I would not wish the curse of foresight onto anyone, except perhaps the worst of all my enemies. And you are not yet one.
Oh? I'll have to work harder to earn that distinction then. And when I set my mind to something, I typically succeed.
I am aware. But I also know that pride, one of the defining traits of your kind, tends to precede a fall. You shall see where all your certainty gets you. Ah, so it's to be my borrowed flames against your own this night. This could be rather entertaining if I didn't know already how it was going to play out.
I'm not here for your amusement, Titan. Your stolen flame hasn't made you immune.
Certainly not. And I anticipate that Ignium, for I know the weapons that you bear, shall rather sting. But I felt worse. You have questions for me about a great many things. I shall not answer them, not yet. The words must first escape your lips, for one.
How about I save my breath instead? You won't know what I'm going to say if I never say it.
Yet your heart, if not your eyes and ears, suggest to you that I am not the liar that your mind believes me to be. We stand in opposition nonetheless. I know what you're about to say, Agent of Change, and caution you. Don't say it. Should you verbalize your thoughts, the outcome shall be of no benefit to either of us.
Fine. Just in case. But you'll forgive me if I'm a little skeptical that we change the course of history like this.
You still don't understand. We are as clay, the lot of us, able to be molded and remolded. One disastrous consequence we avoided, but there's no preventing the next. The question you're about to ask is mocking nonsense to supplant the more important subject troubling you now. Go on. I cannot respond if you hold back.
No. You have no control over me or my future. And don't worry, I'm not going to hold back.
I knew you would react this way, but knew no other way to broach the subject. How often I create the outcomes I'm attempting to prevent. Great Zeus did not have me bound and tortured merely for the supposed crime of taking fire from this mountain. No. He wanted certain information about his eventual downfall.
So you threatened the king of the Olympians with false prophecies, and he took it out on you. Perhaps not one of my Lord Uncle's proudest moments, and yet understandable. What did you tell him?
I told him nothing. Merely that his time shall come. A specific outcome that grows more likely with each passing night. You are but a wrinkle in the plan. Nothing more. Of all your kin on this accursed mountain, Lady Athena is the worthiest opponent. My master's legions must be keeping her quite busy that she'd lend some of her strength to you.
You call her an opponent, but have been avoiding any direct confrontations, throwing your disposable forces against her. You know you'd lose to her in a fair fight.
I would. I lack her martial training, her divinity. But despite her vaunted wisdom, she, like all your kin, possesses what immortals would be called a fatal flaw. And I know that you know what it is.
It's her.
You're not my objective, Titan. So what do we say we make this quick, lest you impede the will of Night?
The will of Night, is it? Demanding Typhon's sacrifice. Is that what you're after? Scaling this mountain again and again?
Not necessarily just Typhon's sacrifice. All enemies of the underworld shall have their punishment. Even you, if you dare keep this up.
I am no stranger to the punishment of gods. It did not deter me then, nor shall it now, or evermore.
Itos has you to himself again. They say that Heracles once slew an entire flock of voracious birds. Must make yours a bit uneasy.
Your insincere concern is meaningless to me. You gods have a shared purpose, merely to reassert your dominance. We share a purpose too, but one completely different from your own.
It seems the mortals whom you love so much don't all reciprocate, Prometheus. For all you claim to have done, they still don't worship you.
Nor shall they ever, I know. Perhaps make cautionary tales I've inspired, but that's it. Fortunately, I don't require affirmation. They can save their nectar and ambrosia for you. How can you hope to surpass me in such a wretched state? Perhaps if I were bound in chains and my liver half-eaten, this would have been more of an even match.
I'm not under the impression that you seek sporting competition here, Prometheus. Now let's get on with it.
A sporting competition? There must be a certain thrill in not knowing a battle's outcome before it occurs. Even outcomes as likely as this.
Just like he said.
We have some matters to discuss, Prometheus. So why not ask your big friend there to step aside? It would be rather rude of him to eavesdrop on our private conversations.
You shall not believe this for some time, Agent of Change, but Heracles can be trusted. Certainly not in your present case, but still.
I care next to naught for what you say, sister. You wish for me to step aside. Make me. Either here and now, or by whichever means you got me to show up.
Well, since the both of you are here, I just want you to know, neither one of you is as strong as you look.
You underestimate our combined strength, though not for much longer. Let's show her, Heracles. What has the whim of chaos wrought? That our existence led us to this point, in opposition to each other endlessly.
You're welcome to surrender at any point, Titan. I'm certain that Chaos would find it terribly amusing if you did.
As would you, I suppose. But no such outcome ever shall occur. Of that you can be certain. Perhaps, however, we may yet provide to Chaos some amusement anyway.
She's here.
You see, big man, she didn't keep you waiting long at all. Though I know how much you detest having your labors dictated by goddesses or gods.
I grow accustomed to it more and more. Relieves me of having to make hard choices. I need but make the easy ones, such as which bones to shatter first.
And I look forward to seeing what you decide, though I already know, of course. It seems we may be locked here in this struggle for some time. That is the consequence, of course, for what you did.
I got my family back. If it means having to get chastised every now and then by you, that's perfectly all right.
I did not mean it thus. In fact, knowing these meetings may be quite habitual, perhaps it's best we keep our conversations curt. I ought not say too much from here. I'm still a little sore after what the gods did to me, for all my so-called crimes. Now, the entirety of my strength shall never again return, but I've enough for this. The gift of fire I bestowed to mortal kind. I made certain to save some for you.
He knew it.
If there exists a downside to having the ferocious strength of Heracles at one's call, it must be overconfidence. How could we possibly not prevail, I theorized. Well, there were ways.
You ought to have told me of these ways, Flame Thief, for I am unaccustomed to defeat. It's fortunate we have no onlookers for all the smoke and ash.
If you two would like to keep this lovely conversation going, I've no great impulse to break it up. But you're going to force me to fight, I suppose.
It's ultimately why we're here, so yes. Where you're going, change follows. And change does not come without conflict. Flowers